Nature is weird and unpredictable, but one thing that most people understand is that the bigger and stronger you are, the more battles you win. But scientists have recently discovered that this isn't the case between crows and ravens. We spoke to the man who made this discovery, Dr. Benjamin Freeman, a researcher from the University of British Columbia in the zoology department, to learn more about it.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere in North America, when crows and ravens are mad at each other, it's usually the crows that are being aggressive and they're chasing the ravens away from someplace. Basically what happens is that there's strength in numbers. So the same way that like when I was in high school and my younger brother was in middle school, if he had like 7 of his buddies, they could beat me up and I would have to leave the room. It's kind of what's happening with the crows and the ravens. Guaranteed if you made them fight one-on-one or something, the raven would win every time. But in nature, and these I should say too, these interactions, it's not like a boxing match where they're each fighting. It's more like like the younger brothers pestering you to leave the kitchen because they want to do whatever they're going to do. So in that analogy, the crows are smaller, but there's lots of them, and they're like, we want to use this area, and we don't want the raven around. So they pester the raven. It's not really a fight, but they're just pestering the raven, and the raven or the ravens eventually leave. Yeah, so mobbing is generally the term for when small birds get mad at big birds and try to chase them away. And the reason they're mad is that the big birds are dangerous to the small birds. So you see like a small bird's trying to chase an eagle away or a hawk away. And the crows and ravens, the ravens aren't dangerous to the adult crows or even teenage crows, but the ravens will eat the crow eggs and the crow nestlings in the spring. And so that's one reason why we see this behavior of crows chasing ravens mostly in the spring when this threat is more present. Crows would eat raven eggs and nestlings if given a chance as well, but the ravens, they're not very worried about that because the crows are comparatively weak, and so if they were actually to directly fight, the ravens would win. And so the crows are mobbing the ravens because there's lots of crows together, and they would move them around to get away from the crow areas. The reason I'm interested in it scientifically is I'm interested in how the interactions between related species shape where they actually live. So the observation with crows and ravens is that in an urban area you get more crows, and in a wild area you get more ravens. So in Vancouver you get more crows. You go up to the North Shore Mountains and you go up there, you don't get crows, you get ravens. So ravens are in more wild areas, crows are in more human areas. And so what we didn't fully show, but what I think is happening is that crows basically keep ravens out of these preferred urban areas that have lots of food. Ravens would be fine living in Vancouver. There are some, but I think the mental exercise is if you could magically kill all crows in Vancouver and wait a couple decades, I think there would be more ravens coming in. I think crows are keeping ravens out. And so scientifically, I'm interested in how these interactions explain why one species lives in one place and another in another. And this paper is a first step towards looking at that for crows and ravens.
So, if you don't like having those pesky crows in your backyard, maybe you should be glad it's crows and not ravens. Thanks for watching. We hope you had a crow of a time.